Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I'd like to do a card pull and see what message the universe has for us for this week. We ask that it's a message that will help guide us for this week because it is Monday and a brand new week. Ooh, so we drew the Starseed card. I love this card, it's so beautiful. I feel like I say that about every card, but it's true. It's true. So it's a starseed. What lights you up? So I was talking yesterday about how there is a lot of light energy entering the planet right now, and how light workers are equipped and kind of know what to do with this light energy. And one of the things that we are supposed to be doing right now is following our passions and doing what our highest joy is, seeking out that highest joy and doing it. And it can be trying sometimes when you don't know what that is. However, you're being encouraged to go within and to seek that, to really ask yourself, with everything removed, think about it this way. If you had a winning lottery ticket in your pocket, what would you be doing? Now, I'm not talking about the houses you would buy, the vacations you would take, the charity that you would donate to. I'm not talking about what you would do with the money. I'm talking about with all of the normal earthly constraints removed, what would you be doing with your time? Now, because keep in mind, being on eternal vacation and not really doing anything, that would only last for so long. So let's think past that. Think past that and think about, if the only thing for you to do would be to pursue your highest joy, what would you be doing? If you didn't have to worry about money and you didn't have to worry about, charity, and because charity and service are different. So, and a good way to think about that is about a way of service. How would I want to be serving humanity if all of my needs were taken care of to the extent that I want them to be taken care of? Because remember, you have a winning lotto ticket. So you're hitting that Powerball for, I don't know, $500 million, all of a sudden there's $500 million in your bank account. So, and don't worry about, I'm not asking about logistically what you would do. I'm talking about, in theory, what would you be doing with your time? What would you want to be doing? And it's so interesting because I had an experience like this a couple months ago, 3 months ago, 3 months ago. And it was interesting because I really had that question come up because I was guided to buy a lottery ticket. And it was divinely guided. So I'm like, oh, is this it? Am I gonna hit the lottery right now? No, I didn't hit the lottery. But what did happen was I asked myself that question. I was like, wow, if this is real, if I'm going to be financially set for life, what would I do for free? What would I continue doing? What would I do out of pure joy of doing it and just pure purpose? Something that I really felt fulfilled by because it was making such an impact on this earth. Like, what am I here to be doing truly? And this came up. Doing this work came up, and it was the only thing that was like, okay, this is what I would be doing with my time. This is what I would be doing regardless of, my financial state. If I hit the lottery tomorrow, I'm still making a video tomorrow, you know? And it wasn't exactly making videos, but it was just this spiritual work, and these videos are currently what this work is looking like for me. So this starseed card, which a lot of us are starseeds, and you know, like, I don't like to get too wrapped up in starseed, lightworker, ET, like, you know, because there are lots of like different kinds of star seeds. I don't like to get too wrapped up in that because we are not in those incarnations right now. We're in our human incarnation. And I think for me, I like to just kind of understand that I have lived many lives before, and I've lived many human lives before, and I have lived many lives that aren't humans. And if you don't know, a star seed is basically someone who, a soul that is not of original human incarnation. Like, you could be a Pleiade, or I actually don't even remember some of the other names. I'm sorry if that offends you, but you are basically an ET incarnated in a human body. And you're here for a specific reason. And now I feel like not all light workers are star seeds, but all star seeds are light workers. And that as a light worker, as a star seed, or even just taking the message of that, of the star seed, and, you know, it says what lights you up, you know, to be doing what lights you up and to be pursuing what lights you up, that is what you're here for. That is your purpose in life. And yes, along this life, you will have lots of evolving and growing and lessons and everything like that. However, we don't have to worry about those things being put in our place, because that is life's job. Life is the one who kind of does all of that for us. So therefore, we don't really need to focus on that. What we need to focus on, and the only thing we need to be focusing on, is following our highest joy, finding our highest joy and following it, and understanding that it can change and it can evolve, and that is okay. But through following that joy, through following what lights you up, you are raising that tide, because you are raising your vibration, because you are breaking the chains of the constraints of society that tells you that you need to be doing something that, you know, makes you money, will make your parents proud, will make you proud to introduce yourself to someone else. Hi, I'm Anne, and I do this. So following your joy and following what lights you up automatically kind of breaks those chains, because then you're forced to truly ask yourself, what lights me up? What am I going to do on this planet that lights me up and truly fills my cup? And it does look different for every single person. You know, for some people it is, you know, if they're a parent, being the absolute best parent they can be. That is their highest joy, and that is their purpose. For some people it is drawing or graphic design or marketing or painting or singing or making videos, creating content. You know, there's a whole realm. And don't think that because you are being called to do what lights you up, that it has to be in the spiritual field, because that is a judgment. To think that a spiritual teacher is any more closer to God or any more enlightened than Michael Jordan, who played basketball, is a judgment. Look at all of the good that Michael Jordan did. Look at all of the light he brought to this world, all of the joy, all of the inspiration. How many people looked at him and said, wow, if he can do that, then I can do this, what's in front of me. If he can do that, I can do anything I want. If he can work hard and achieve his dreams, then I can work hard and I can achieve my dreams too. That's pretty spiritual to me. Don't you think? Don't you think? inspiring millions and millions of people, that is a beautiful spiritual journey. So don't forget that everything is the divine, okay? And we are here to learn. We are in a planet of duality, so we are here to learn. I don't want to say what's right and wrong, because like if you feel like murdering people is your highest joy, life is a game of boomerang, so get ready. So I'm not saying, if your highest joy is calling you to hurt someone else, it is not your highest joy, and it is not the divine calling you. So, but don't think that because you want to make clay action figures and that is what your highest joy is, and that is when you are in the flow state, and that is when you feel most connected with your higher self and your best self, and that is the one thing that you would want to do regardless of money or anything like that, then do that. Don't feel like, well, I'm a spiritual person and I need to be doing something spiritual. That is not true. We are all different, and that is what makes the world go round. Spiritual people need electricity. They need art to look at, So don't feel like you can't be a spiritual person and your highest joy not be something spiritual, because remember, that is spiritual. If it is something that makes you feel aligned with your highest self, that is a spiritual calling. Like, don't think that because you want to make cute house decor that's not spiritual. Because if you want to break it down, like say clay figures or housing decor, that brings people joy. If someone you make their favorite clay action figure and they buy it from you and they look at it with love every day and it sparks joy in them, how is that not spiritual? It is. Because this life is all about joy and all about living your highest calling, and doing every single day what sparks joy in your soul, because we are all about raising our vibration here, and that raises your vibration. So how can that not be what we're meant to do? So we are being called to really, really pursue that, and to really, really take the time out of our day to enjoy those things and to do those things and to make them a priority. Doing this is my highest joy. I love doing this, and therefore I prioritize it in my day. I do it not very first thing. I've been up for a little bit, but I do it before I go to work. I prioritize this. This goes first because it brings me so much joy. It is such an amazing way to start my day that I absolutely love it, and it's worth it for me to get up earlier to do it. And I encourage you to try that too. So let's go back to the clay figures. If building clay figures is your highest joy and you just absolutely love to do it, why don't you try and get up a little bit earlier to do it first, before you go to work, before you continue on with your day? Prioritize that joy for yourself. And you might be like, well, I can't set it up and yada, yada, yada. But what if you were to have it set up and leave it set up to where you would just be able to get up? See, we have to start letting go of these societal things that your house has to look like a model home and has to look like nobody lives there. And it's not okay to, leave your stuff out. Like, okay, it's not okay to live in like utter clutter and hoarding. However, if leaving your clay figure stuff out so you can get up and get to it right in the morning because it brings you joy first thing in the morning, then work around that. Find out a way that you can leave it out to make it easier for yourself to bring yourself that joy, because it is so, so important right now. And the joy has never been more easily accessible. Because all of this light energy is pouring into the planet right now, it is more accessible than ever. All we have to do is choose, because we have free will, choose to tap into that light energy. And that can look like doing your favorite hobby, doing what brings you joy, okay? So it is closer than ever. It is easier than ever to tap into it. All we have to do is ask, let me tap into this. Please, I would love to tap into this highest joy. I want to feel joy every single day. What can I do to make myself feel joy every single day? What is that activity? What is that action? What is it for me? These are the questions that I would like you to start asking yourself and to start acting upon, because the light is here. Let's take advantage. So that is our message for today. My name is Anne. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you tomorrow.